All right, ladies and gentlemen, holy
Hey, no
moly.
dom!
Thank you for the sub as well for 2 months. Appreciate that. Starting us off game 1 with the sub. Can you get any better than that? Thank you for game number 1, ladies and gentlemen. We're starting 45 minutes late. That won't even matter. If I got to solo the last game, I will. Not even worried about it, as Vladimir is going to be the first fan. This is XLNC Shoutcasting. I'm Jake Kelton. This is Wraith. We do this every Tuesday night, 9 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, except for tonight when we're doing a little bit later because I got carried away doing a different thing. But the main thing to remember is that you guys get to play in it. And the only reason I do this is for YouTube. Anyone that's on my Twitch hears this 1,000 times a month. Not quite, but you know what I'm saying. Kaisa banned away from Shadow Hunters. Don't want her OP-ness. Catinator is not playing this game. We've seen him pop off on that champion several different times. But instead, they're just going to take it away because it is super strong, as well as the Swain banned away. I'm still wondering if Sion counts as Freelo or not, because he wins so often.
Yeah, Sion, the meta's shifted a little bit since that. He's still a strong pick, but there are answers to him. Trundle has been crushing him for a long time. Now, the LeBlanc banned away. I was about to comment on this. LeBlanc and Ari, both the beneficiaries of some interesting reworks. So Ari, they basically reverted a change they did to her back in Season 4. Where they gave her bonus movement speed on her Q, but took away a lot of the bonus damage that when she would hit her charm, she'd end up dealing a ton of extra bonus damage. Well, they gave that back, but took away the movement speed and shifted the heal back over to her Q. So they reverted a couple of things and changed a couple of others. Long story short, Ari's a full-blown assassin now, not just a kind of mid-range control-y semi-mage. She didn't really fit into a category after her Season 4 minor rework. Now, speaking of reworks, on the other hand, you've got LeBlanc. Because who didn't like old LeBlanc? I mean, so we took the new LeBlanc, which was pretty balanced, a little bit more difficult to play, and they took that and put it back into old busted as crap LeBlanc that you would jump in, one-shot you with, and then vanish, and you're like, how did I die? I don't know. Killer. Oh, okay. Time to hide under my Nexus turrets. Yeah, so that LeBlanc is back. She doesn't have a silence. That was Season 2 cancer. But old LeBlanc with the QR combo, she's back. They pulled her back out of the mothballs for some reason, and I'm assuming they're going to be working on rebalancing, but we're not going to see her this game because she's been banned away, and the Alawi going to be picked up by Jinky Toast in the top lane. Currently, we're looking at Alistair and Caitlyn. Not what you would think of as the best lane combo. Caitlyn tends to like to sit back and poke a little bit more, set her opponents up for an all-in if she's with someone like that. There is the potential for her to drop a trap underneath whoever Alistar CCs if she is quick enough on her fingers, but not the best lane combo, I'd say. There are definitely other better options, but still a very powerful bot lane considering Caitlyn's probably the best ADC right now, simply because she doesn't lose to anyone and she is a hyper-scaling threat. Dang. It's gonna be a long night, boys.
Go get some coffee or tea. Wake yourself
yeah.
up. Yeah, sure.
Not this hour.
So that is Jinky Toast picking up the Alawi for the top lane. Very big team fight champion, but also able to carry herself well in the solo lane. Not too concerned, though, against a counter pick, as they are going to have double bans here. It is the Ezreal ban first from Super Galaxy. Now, the interesting thing is that is a very confident player to pick Alawi into anyone and basically dare the enemy player to pick something like a Gnar who has that range poke, or even somebody, I'm trying to think about, like a Yasuo that can get some really good all-in dives. But the main thing is that just late game, she becomes such a tank and healing monster. It's so hard to shut her down.
Yeah, she's really especially good in the side lane or somewhere where she can set up beforehand, get the tentacles spawned up. The longer she's in place, the stronger she is. Oh, Landex hovering over that Troll King right there. Are we going to be seeing it picked up? Usually Trundle has been reserved as a counter for Scion in the current meta. And the Rammus. Now, Rammus has been a solo queue monster for a really long time. Probably about 2 or 3, maybe 4 patches. But no, it's going to be the Trundle locked in. Going to be able to rob Sejuani of her tanky stats and become an absolute beast. I'd have to figure out. I'm not sure how this interacts, but Sejuani's passive, I think it's Arctic Armor or Glacial Armor, something like that. Basically, her armor passive gives her a bonus 300 armor and 200 magic resist for 2 seconds after taking damage. I wonder if he ults her. Trundle's ultimate steals, I think, 60% of the enemy champion's resistances, and as well as a percentage of their maximum health given back to him as lifesteal. That's why he's always been good as a tank shredder, because he just, oh, you're super tanky. Well, now I'm super tanky.
And you are not so tanky.
I wonder if he shreds their resists, if he targets her at the beginning of the fight before her armor's fallen off. Does he get a percentage of the 300, and does that go away after the glacial armor breaks off? That'd be very interesting. Because if it's just a flat value, that could be a very powerful interaction. Or he just, what's a percentage of 300 armor and magic resist?
Well, it is going to be Commander C 2121 picking up the Aurelian Soul. That's someone that apparently he has practiced. He's feeling a lot more confident. Normally, he comes into games wondering if he's going to be the losing side of the teams, cause his team to fail. But this time, he's felt a lot more confident, so we'll see if he can make that happen on the Rift. As Better Corky, welcome to the stream. First time tonight playing, picks up the Gangplank for the top lane to counter that Alawi. But before we go too much further, ladies and gentlemen, welcome to XLNC Shoutcasting once again. We're going to go through the players and their champions for the Team Super Galaxy. We've got Wincarnation on the bottom lane support of Alistar, continuing to tote that Ignite as just does so much early game damage and earlier cooldowns. I Like Pogs taking the Caitlyn bottom lane AD carry role. Jinky Toast taking the Alawi in the top lane. Landex with the Trundle in the jungle. And Commander C 2121 feeling a lot more confident on this Aurelian Soul in the mid lane.
And for Team Shadowhunters, we've got Lord Reese on his legendary Anivia in the mid lane, Enzalor picking up Jenna in the bottom lane supportive role. We've got Juggeroo on Sejuani in the jungle. We've got Phantom of Temp picking up Ashe in the bottom lane ADC role, and Better Corky rounding out the composition with Gangplank in the top lane. Now we're looking at these compositions here. You've got a heavy tank line. Sejuani is a really powerful tank. But Alistar is a really strong tank for about 6 to 8 seconds with his ultimate up. After that fact, he becomes kind of a middling tank. Now that tanky Sejuani is largely going to be taken out of the picture by the Trundle. If Landex plays it properly, he's going to steal away a large chunk of his resists. Now I just want to look at the amount of CC coming through from both teams. You've got a grand total of 3 types of hard CC on the side of Super Galaxy, whereas you have a knock-up, a stun, a knock-up, and 2 stuns coming out of Sejuani. So that's 1, 2, 3, 4.
Pretty handy
you've got
amount of
like
CC.
6 different kinds of CC coming out of the side of Shadowhunter. So they have a heavy advantage in the team fight phase, simply because they'll have the ability to lock down a key target much better. Aurelian Soul also really dislikes hard CC. So that is a good thing to point out. Losing matchup in the top lane, Gangplank should lose to Alawi, though he will outscale her in the late game. So it's up to Jinky Toast to shut down the Gangplank in the early game and keep him from turning into that absolute monster toward the later stages.
Yeah, I'm definitely liking both these teams for the team fight power. One of the things that Super Galaxy has is that group AoE Aurelion Soul with those spinning those spinning orbs dealing a lot of damage. Alawi with her 5 mana, it's definitely nothing to be shy of. All those tentacles slamming down. Alistar with multiple man knockups. Even Caitlyn, especially if she gets that Runaan's Hurricane, blasting out some really heavy damage. However, you have so much AoE.
Anymore.
Well, I'm saying you could, but over on Shadowhunters, you have a lot of passive AoE damage as well. You have the Anivia ultimate, the ultimate slow from the Sejuani after she uses that to stun someone up, as well as the Gangplank AoE ultimate. That's a lot of AoE damage over time that just starts to stack up from the side of Shadowhunters. So 5v5s should be very, very, very intense. The question is, can either side's laning phase get the team so far advanced that when it comes to those 5v5 fights in the mid game, they're able to actually successfully win those and carry on into a winning game? Because I think the laning phase is really where a lot of this game may be determined.
Yeah. Looking for a laning phase here, Alistar Caitlyn should outlane the Ashe and the Janna. Now, if Enzalor, we know he plays a good support. If he can stop Wincarnation on the when he's going in with his Headbutt Pulverized combo and just deny it altogether with a Tornado, there's the potential that Ashe and Alistar never end up meeting in that head-to-head collision. Now, the thing is that Caitlyn is a stronger laning matchup into Ashe. Ashe goes even with a lot of people, and when it turns into the late game scaling type situation, Caitlyn outscales Ashe, just straight up. However, in the other carry matchup, I am expecting Anivia to win out over the Aurelion Soul because she's a control mage, and Aurelion Soul really needs to kind of just get on and stay on a target for a long period of time. Anivia has the wall to deny that. She also has a stun. So she can play, if necessary, very defensively. She can wave clear post level 6 and deny Commander C the roaming potential that he really wants to do with Aurelion Soul without losing more CS. So I like the matchup in the mid lane for Shadowhunters more so than. However, I would give a slight edge to the bottom lane for Super Galaxy. And then, of course, the top lane is a toss-up.
Oh, looks like we may have the invade here. Nice stun from the Anivia. Going to start us off onto Commander C. He felt so confident, but going to go down. First blood given over to Phantom of Temp, who happily trades a flash. The confidence from the Aurelion Soul in the mid lane is just devastated as he is standing there, opens up the opportunity for that early Q from the Anivia, stuns him up, locks him down long enough for the rest of the team, and he burned his flash as well. Super costly, but beautiful play there from red side. Shadowhunters leaping out of the shadows in that mid lane to grab first blood.
Looking to see Reeves allow Commander C to push him in the early game and then have Juggeroo go mid and abuse that lack of flash. Likewise, I would like to see Trundle come bot lane and abuse the flash used by Ashe. I doubt we'll see that happening. There's a lot of disengage coming out of the Janna and not a ton of CC to be brought by the Trundle. The pillar's really all he brings to the table.
Yeah, it looks like a little bit of damage down onto the Janna in the bottom lane. Now, she is going to not be in supportive role. There we go. She looks like she's an ADC for a minute. It has started the Spell Thief's Edge, which is interesting. I've actually seen a lot of stuff recently going back and forth about supports and what they start, because especially for the casters in the bottom lane, when they do that mana change, one of the things that's going to be really important is picking up the Ancient Coin, because you get those little mana coins laying on the ground. And I've seen a lot more support starting to pick up Ancient Coin, including even a Karma. I think Lulu I saw pick up an Ancient Coin as well. And so I think some supports are starting to kind of transition over to make way for those changes to the mana that may be coming, should be coming. And this time around, though, Enzalor plays the original status quo and just goes with that Spell Thief's Edge.
Yeah, so basically the choice here is Spell Thieves is if you're playing an aggressive lane. Passive lanes play more toward the coin. Hold on, we've got a gank.
Oh, yeah, Trundle coming up here, has the double buffs. Better Corky taking some damage. Jinky Toast is low, but it should be an easy kill for Landex. The heal down with those oranges, but it's not going to be enough. Better Corky falls as the second blood in the top lane. But first, for team...
Shadow Hunters.
No, that's red team. Shadow Hunters.
Yeah. Shadow Hunters got first blood.
Super Galaxy. I was talking about second blood. Was Team Super Galaxy.
Okay.
Sorry, my OBS was a little on the small side, so I couldn't read it quickly enough. But
all right.
We got it.
Yeah. I was about to make an important point
about the ancient coin. As Alistar goes in, and you're going to interrupt your point once again. Phantom of Temp going to get stunned up. Ignite is ticking away. This is a level 3 engage from Incarnation. Flash forward from I Like Pogs. Burning the flash on the Ashe earlier because of the forced jump may be enough, but it's not. Caitlyn doesn't have the range for the last auto she needs. You can see Headhunter's actually ticking on her right now, but unable to use that to take out the Ashe. Instead, just gets the heal as in the mid lane. Sejuani comes in looking for Commander C, but Landex here to defend as well. And it looks like both of blue team mid will be able to get out.
I Like Pogs also burning the heal to try to get that little extra speed boost. So it's really an even trade of summoners on both sides. Actually, a little bit more into the favor of Shadow Hunters because Janna maintains her flash. A small point of micro that saved Ashe's life there. Enzalor took. Hold on, we've got a gank coming in the mid lane, and Mercy is dead.
Double stuns on a very squishy mid laner. That's going to be the death of Aurelion Sol once again. Commander C, originally feeling confident, now it is starting to weigh down. Can he hold out despite all of the pressure that is continuing to show mid lane, or will he cave? That is the question. It is a galactic question.
I see what you did there. Anyway, so thoughts are difficult to
thoughts
come
are
by.
difficult when you're super sleepy. It's better Corky gonna take some good harass in the top lane, down to about a third health. Landex tries to get an invade in the bottom side. However, he is spotted out due to a really well-placed ward from Shadow Hunters. Means there won't be any of that. Orange is eaten by Better Corky. Gets a little bit of harass damage back onto Jinky Toast, but has to play very, very safe. Now, Jinky Toast did take the flash teleport, so there is no ignite on this Alawi in the top lane. But the teleport has already been used by Better Corky, which is why he's fighting so hard to not have to back right now, because it would be disadvantageous. All those minions would get pushed in by the Alawi and burned on the tower, and he would lose so much farm.
Yeah. Oh yeah, and it was the point. A little point of micro here, and it's important to note. And yes, Enzalor pulls it off again. Just going to be a little bit of trading coming through here. But the point of micro I've been talking about is that so many supports I've seen end up, when Alistar goes in, you've got this big honking cow on your ADC, and you're like, I've got to get rid of this big honking cow on my ADC. I know what I'm going to do. I'm going to CC him. And they throw their CC at Alistar. But the thing once he's blown his headbutt pulverized combo, he's at the point where he really isn't going to do anything else except drop the stun auto attack. Most of the damage from that point out is going to come completely. Hold on, Juggeroo's coming in, but there's a counter gank from Landex.
Yeah, the knock up there. Will it be enough? Incarnation very low, but it's the Sejuani even lower flashes, but straight into the Pillar of Filth from the Trundle. Both jungler and support going to die 1 for 1. Fallen. Phantom of Temp very low, but escaping with his life once again in the bottom lane. Now, Caitlyn is level 5, could tick level 6, and that ult might be the spell of the death for Phantom of Temp. He doesn't have heal. However, Janna's shield might be enough to protect that, so we'll have to see what goes down once Caitlyn ticks 6.
Yeah, so what Janna did in that last fight was she threw her tornado toward Caitlyn rather than toward the Alistar. And while Ali does manage to get his full combo and the stun down, it deals a lot of damage. If you ask me, too much damage for the amount for just being a support, dealing 50 to 60% of the ADC's health and your basic combo when you're that tanky is a little bit obscene. However, she manages to CC Caitlyn, and her ADC only takes a small amount of damage, relatively speaking, as if Caitlyn were to get down all of her damage through traps and the net Piltover Peacemaker combo, definitely saving his life. So if you're ever stuck playing support, guys, focus your CC toward the AD carry when you have an engager like Alistar or Leona, somebody like that who's going to be jumping onto your AD. Wincarnation currently posturing forward. I'm very surprised that I haven't noted this yet, but Phantom of Tempt elected to take Lethal Tempo over Fleet Footwork. There is something to be said for Lethal Tempo because it did just get buffed and it's in a pretty strong state right now. Lethal Tempo is the best scaling of the three, in my opinion, and I think everyone else's opinion, but I could be wrong. Simply because of it allows you to overclock your attack speed. The reason Fleet Footwork is almost always favored is because it allows you to broaden out your item paths as an ADC. AD carries say you get hit by Zoe, Lux, whatever in the middle of a team fight, or just defending tower, or say you take a Caitlyn trap. Hold on, we've got to fight.
Oh, the ult into the Brilliant Soul. Beautiful play. Walks into a bush where they can't see him. Now the stun onto Ashe. Flash forward from I Like Poggers, trying to take out Phantom of Tempt. Steps on a trap, and that's going to be the end of that one. Landex dying to escape from the mid lane. Juggaroo with the red buff. Not enough to take him out, so he is able to get that speed buff because of the ground... I'm not exactly sure what that was called, but Better Corki eats some oranges, speeds himself away from the slamming tentacles. He is alive for the moment. However, the ghostiness still sticking to him for the moment. When Incarnation goes in onto Janice, she uses the shield, trying to keep herself alive, keeps a knock up onto Caitlyn, forces out the heal, uses the ult, and that's going to be enough. Double kill for I Like Poggers late in the bottom lane. 3-0-0 in that bottom lane. Caitlyn coming out huge.
As I was saying beforehand, Caitlyn really should win that matchup. However, Better Corki going for an all-in, and it looks like he is going to get the kill. Against the flow of play, Better Corki Gangplank should not be solo killing the Alawi, at least not this phase of the game, and that is going to give him a substantial gold lead over a matchup where he's supposed to be losing. And we're going to take a look at the CS real quick.
76
he is
to 68.
down a little bit.
Landex coming up here, though. Pillar Flip knocks him back for the moment, tries to get the slow down. He has the speed boost for the moment, and those oranges continue to come in huge every time that he uses them. One of the reasons why he was able to beat out Alawi in the 1v1, just use it both for the speed boost to avoid some tentacles, as well as give him a little bit of edge on the health. And so he was able to finish off Alawi, and now once again uses it to avoid the CC from the Trundle, speeds himself away, and is safe. Now, 1-1-1, he's still a little bit of a while to come back in. Nice ult there, but the jump there from Alistar, tries to get the knockback, doesn't even need it. I Like Pogs has the damage, Infinity Edge finish. Landis coming into the top lane, doesn't have any buffs, isn't worried about it, uses the Pillar of Filth to try to block Better Corki. However, can he get out of this one? Already used oranges, doesn't need him a second time, just blasts the barrel, and that's going to get him to safety.
Yeah, that was an incredibly well-played engage by Wincarnation. Takes the headbutt to the minion and then flashes for the pulverize, engaging from a very long distance away, and he's starting to snowball this bottom lane. Let's see. So bot lane manages to knock down first tower, giving that solo gold over to the Caitlyn. So I Like Pogs is going to be absolutely massive.
Oh, Incarnation, super tanky, tries to CC the members of Shadow Hunters. They're looking for the Caitlyn. They're only going to find a super tanky Alistar. They have walled him off. He's going to sacrifice his life to save his ADC. And even more, this support is coming in big, able to hold them off for the Caitlyn to get to safety. Now, if Caitlyn can use that opportunity to steal away the Ocean Drake that's being started up by Shadow Hunters, that would be huge.
Yeah, I doubt she only has Piltover Peacemaker available to her. Unfortunately, not able to make it happen. And Commander C2121 in the mid lane, clearing out a control ward. Better Corky and Jinky Toast are just trading out. The Qs from Better Corky really starting to do a lot of damage to Jinky Toast right now. And as he spams out, and he just got access to the Ocean Drake, that's going to give him plenty of mana to continue that spam, as well as the ability to spam his oranges and passively rejuvenate health. That could be a huge factor in this top lane fight. Better Corky already back at almost 2/3 health, whereas Jinky Toast is finding himself substantially down. But Better Corky might have bitten off more than he can chew here.
Oh, yeah, he tries to bait it out, but Jinky Toast with a nice flash guarantees that last Q Tentacle Slam to finish off Gangplank. Now, had Trundle en route to help out as well. Didn't need his support. Instead, they're just going to be pushing in onto the turret. Now, Caitlyn needs to be careful in this bottom lane, as both members of the bottom lane are very squishy. Wincarnation gets the sense that the board riders around, sees this Sejuani with a ward, and will back off. So just good game sense to know this Sejuani could be close by. Senses it, backs away.
I like this macro decision right here from Super Galaxy. Seeing that the Sejuani was in the bottom lane and knowing Gangplank was dead, they went for that top lane tower with the knowledge that basically no one of importance could be top lane right now. They didn't know where Janna was, but, I mean, who really cares if you get ganked by a Janna as Alawi and Trundle? As much as support lives matter, also, not really. Sorry. Actually, I love my sports most of the time.
Most of the time.
Unless they're playing Echo or
Ooh, long range Ashe ult and Enchanted Crystal are going to land onto the Caitlyn. But with Wincarnation here for the protection, not going to do anything. I think that was actually meant for the Aurelion Soul, but Commander C had already moved away towards the jungle and then back. They're trading him up, heading him towards the bottom lane as he has 66 farm to the 138 of Lord Reeves on this Anivia. And now with the blue buff, going to be able to spam out these ultimates and clear up farm even faster.
He's trying to really just level up and get to the point where he can be a team fight monster and carry his team that way. His scoreline doesn't look that flashy right now, but he does have a bunch of CS. Now, he will have to be careful not to get caught out by Wincarnation or pillared off by Landex. If that happens, he could go down just as fast as anyone else. Perhaps a little slower, because he will have the egg up.
Well, and that's one of the things I'm seeing coming out from the Super Galaxy team, is that they have a lot of champions that can use these narrow entryways in the jungle to really pinch off areas. Alistar's nice AoE, even the Pillar of Filth from Trundle could pull just one person away from their team. However, they need to be careful because the Anivia has the same type of thing over from Shadowhunters. Double ults in the bottom lane. That's going to be at least one landing, and Commander C should be going down here, is going to fall. Juggeroo takes a couple tower shots, but not going to be too concerned about that. So the Aurelion Soul tries to get to the side lane, get some farm, instead finds those long range engages. In the meantime, Alistar comes in. Can he get the kill? Doesn't need a team. Alistar solo. Alistar MVP. We saw him carry a couple weeks back in top lane. He doesn't even need his ADC to carry from the bottom lane.
Yeah. Do you see what I mean about Alistar doing a little bit too much damage just from base for having completely just solid tank stats? I mean, he killed Ashe from...
Oh, nice 90 caliber net from I Like Pogs. Gets him over a maybe predicted wall and able to get to safety, as I thought he was pretty aggressive in the mid lane, walking forward to get some harass onto Lord Reeves. Pops himself a little bit of healing from a potion and is able to continue to defend this mid lane turret, as Caitlyn is starting to stack up farm and trades. Actually, a really good trade and farm here. You can see Caitlyn to Ashe is almost identical to Aurelion Soul to Anivia. So these teams are interestingly close, despite what it may look like just on the kill side of things.
Because everyone knows that kills are the only thing that matter in League of Legends, Jake. You know, it doesn't matter if you get objectives, doesn't matter if you get Baron, Dragon, Towers, so long as you're ahead in KDA, that's what matters in League. Take that into your solo queue games, boys. You win enough to get you out of Bronze 3.
Out of
No
Bronze
higher.
3, all you need is to KS everything that you see, including your jungle farm and the enemy faces. As Juggeroo going to be cut out, a little bit of damage done, knocked down, just a couple hundred health. Uses the ult just to guarantee getting away from the Caitlyn. Think there was potential opportunity for a re-engage from the Janna, but plays it very safe, throws it out. It's not going to be available for a while for the next engage, though, and that's, I think, the main thing from Shadowhunters is losing that tool to try to catch out the Caitlyn, as it could be handy right now. The ultimate from Gangplank soloing out. I like Pogs. He's able to get around the wall from Lord Reeves. Continues to not do much. Landex tries the pillar in the mid lane, and the disengage of the fight happens beautifully from Galaxy.
And I like Pogs now trying pretty desperately to clear out in the mid lane, but the heal comes through from Wincarnation. The engage onto Better Corki.
Yeah, may have caught him out trying to layer the CC, so he can't just eat his way to safety with those oranges. Looks like he will get out for the moment, but very low health. There's the ult from Caitlyn as well. Ticking down, not going to be enough, but that's going to be some nice moves from Shadowhunters, giving them the Infernal Drake. Engage in the mid lane on Gangplank. He delayed them long enough. The rest of the team is a 4-man move to take that. In the top lane, they're pushing onto the second tier turret as Juggeroo gets over the wall. Pillar not going to push him right back across. Ash, the one in the sights, tries to throw out the volley to slow them down, and looks like she will be able to escape for... Yeah, looks like they will be able to escape after stealing away an Infernal Drake out from under the nose of Super Galaxy.
Anyway, so in the top lane, Jinky Toast, Better Corki, trading it out. Jinky Toast managing to take out a few of the barrels. That's really the trick to beating... Wow. Did not see that coming, and I don't think Better Corki did either. He went down really fast. And let's check Jinky Toast's items really quick. It looks like he has finished Trinity Force, and he's also worked himself up into a what is that thing called? Warden's Mail. That's it. Yeah, got it. Warden's Mail also reduces critical strike damage, which is a pretty big deal for Gangplank. Checking in on the CS real quick. This is oftentimes where a lot of people lose or gain their leads, depending on how good they are at playing mid game as ADC, especially. Oh, predicts that this time.
Yeah, beautiful play there. Puts Pogs very low health. Needs to play safe as another engage from the Anivia, especially with no mana for a 90 caliber net, is going to be critical for the Caitlyn to stay safe. But now they have lost that mid lane siege power of the Caitlyn. So the rest of the tank line of Alistar and Trundle need to be a little bit on the safer side. That's one of the things is you have two damage sources. Commander C, who has been set so far down in CS, it's going to take him a while to get back into the game. And Caitlyn, who you need to keep alive. Juggeroo, though, maybe going down here. The Trundle has some good damage. Janna ult pushes several members back. Is it going to be enough? Wincarnation trying to get out. Very low health, backing away as well. But his tankiness is not going to be enough. And Juggeroo lives through some beautiful play by Enzalor with that ultimate, pushing out the members of blue team and keeping the Sejuani alive.
Yeah. So Better Corki taking down a little bit of a trade in the mid lane, and it looks like they could actually group as 5 right here. Jinky Toast is in the top lane, and they might be able to force this mid lane tower. They do have a decent amount of wave clear on the Aurelian Soul and the Caitlyn, as Kate has finally picked herself up a, what is that thing called? Static Shiv right now. So she'll have a decent amount of wave clear, but if they can force Aurelian Soul off the wave, they probably could have taken that mid lane tower. But it looks like Ashe is going to head toward the bot side and pick up a wave. Like I was saying before, really, mid-game, ADCs often fall behind. Hold on.
Ooh, nice. Enchanted Crystal Arrow once again onto Commander C. There wasn't much vision. Trying to rotate between lanes. Caught out in the river and goes down once again. 0-5, not this Aurelian Soul's game. However, the Trundle is doing his darndest to keep the team in the game. And they're actually up 2,000 gold.
Yeah, any kind of closeness of the lead is the difference between ADCs right here. So Phantom of Temp does not have nearly as much CS kills or gold as his opposite number on the enemy team.
May find a kill right now as Jinky Toast going to throw down the ultimate. Good damage for the moment, but going to take some heavy damage as well. Better Corky off to the side, gets the kill. Jinky Toast maybe going down, tries to get one more heal, finds himself Gangplank, trades 1 for 1. Ash getting credit for the kill, says, you don't think I have enough kills? I'll grab another one, why not? As in the mid lane, the siege has continued on the turret, but that is barely scratching the paint off of that turret.
I wonder, are they painted or are they just magically coated? Are they emblazoned with something?
I heard a song that said that the minions build the towers after each game. They rebuild the towers. So I would assume that if the minions were building the towers, they probably, as perfectionists as they are, I mean, look at how beautiful their lines are every single time they come into lane. They probably paint the towers.
Lord Reeves basically playing the one-man wave clear army in the mid lane. Just every time a wave comes down, press R, sometimes press Q, E to cannon minions, and just spam laugh. They're never taking mid lane tower away from Reeves, and if I'm correct, yeah, if you look at, despite very little pushing on the enemy side, very little autoing onto that tower, Lord Reeves has managed to drop it down to a very low state that simply from the minions crashing into it and continuously auto-attacking it has dropped it down to that HP and gives him the potential to break the first tower for his team in the mid lane.
Oh, this might be the death of the Caitlyn. Alistar with some great CC. Flashing forward, Phantom Attempt gets one auto, but the volley gets stopped by the minion wave. The ult is down. Ash is gone. Caitlyn picks up the kill, and the entire engage is saved by Wincarnation with a beautiful macro play. Micro play. I mean, both. All of it. The above. The headbutt onto Anivia to stop the AoE ultimate, and then the CC on the members of Phantom of Temp and Juggeroo was just glorious. And Reeves has fallen asleep. That's okay. I will solo cast without, shall not prevail. I shall cast without.
Asleep?
Did I say Reeves? Wraith? Either or. It's fine. I will solo cast as Wincarnation comes to the mid lane, looking for now an engage without the Ashe. They want to take out this turret. Caitlyn getting some good damage on the edge. Wow, with a beautiful last auto attack. The layering of the 90 caliber net and the Piltover Peacemaker sniping down the Janna. This Caitlyn can do no wrong. As Jinky Toasted continues to push, something I was going to comment earlier was that the blue team Super Galaxy has very slowly snuck away 3 towers of the enemy team, while Anivia has held the mid lane beautifully. The top has lost 2, the bottom has lost 1, and now Anivia tries desperately to hold on to the mid lane as it's being dropped down to half health. Incarnation comes from behind, finds Phantom of Temp, decides not to engage. Not enough members of the rest of the team. Perhaps you don't need an alive Aurelion Soul. All you need is the Super Galaxy Dragon to cheer as the cheering squad for your team to win the game.
Yeah, and the bot lane here is, as we were saying, is the main issue. Caitlyn on her 3-item power spike.
Oh, Incarnation gonna find Phantom Temp once again. Doesn't even need to worry about knocking her back. It's going to be the kill given over to Jinky Toast as the rest of the team gonna find Juggeroo out in the jungle. Super Galaxy continuing to put pressure on this mid lane. There is a big wave about to crash from the red side on the bottom tier turret, but Jinky Toast could teleport as her teleport is up to catch it if she wants. Instead, continuing to harass GP down in the top lane, pushing in onto the inhibitor. That's going to be the engage in the mid lane. Lord Reeves down to half health. The super tanky at Wincarnation Alistar walking his way to safety underneath the turret, only loses down to half health, and Pog is trying to get as much damage as possible. Finally takes down the turret. Egg forms the Anivia. Juggeroo in trouble. Alistar re-engages. Takes out the Caitlyn. Pog stands in the middle of the Gangplank ult and says, I raise you a almost triple kill. Finishing off Juggeroo, but instead it's going to be Landex engaging from behind. The courses out the running from Juggeroo. Ash here to try to get the slow. Landex doesn't care. The Enchanted Crystal Arrow not going to be enough. Poggers gets it with the Piltover Peacemaker, and that's the near ace. Gangplank the only one alive trying to stop this. Better Corky doesn't quite get the barrels down as Pog's damage and auto attack speed are just too incredible. Second mid-tier turret falls, and now they have completely taken over the map.
Yeah, Caitlyn is an absolute monster right now. 300 CS, over 150 above his opposite number. A crazy amount of gold. He's even above his top laner, and he's making excellent use of it right now, landing really clean Piltover Peacemaker combos with the EQ, and basically one-shotting people using these. I'm expecting to see her go back and probably buy almost a full item.
Oh, Alistar, I mean, not Alistar, Alawi gonna clean up one with the Super Mega Ultimate. Doesn't have a rocket in it, just has Tentacle Slams. Trades 1 for 1, forcing the team to slow their disengage, trying to move out from the base. However, it is still 4 members with the Baron from the side of Super Galaxy. And this Caitlyn sieges have been incredible so far. With red buff, she's going to be able to do even more. And the bike has collapsed. Thresh threw a hook and landed onto the bike, dragging it off. It is a death sentence for the bike. It has collapsed and is gone. Maybe next week the Thresh will give the bike back after his lantern has spat it up.
Juggeroo taking a ton of unnecessary damage, but hold on. I Like Pogs has been caught out.
Oh, he's gonna be shut down. Ash cleaning that up. Wincarnation now down to half. Health stun goes down. And the layering CC of Shadowhunters has finally come to fruition. And they're gonna pick themselves up to Aurelion Sol, trying to get what farm he can in the bottom lane. Has been able to pick up a Rylai's Crystal Scepter, so can slow people down when they're trying to kill him. Unless they have that hard CC, doesn't even matter. But Phantom of Temp, on par with a lot of these Enchanted Crystal arrows, even if they don't always net a kill. There's been some really good sniping with those.
I thought you were going to say on par with them even if they don't hit. And I'm like, well, that's not usually on par. Anyway, so Jinky Toast grabbing a shadow, dealing some damage to the tank line. Oh, and the arrow comes back out hitting Landax. Currently, Jinky Toast in the middle, trying to get the Tentacle Slams down. He doesn't manage. An excellent ultimate by Janna to disengage the fight. Phantom of Temp on the front line, dealing out the damage, and is going to get a double kill? Almost a double kill. Better Corky picking up the second half of that.
Yeah, beautiful realization from Shadowhunters that they had a massive man advantage in the mid lane, 5-3, and they just shove it down Super Galaxy's throats. Sejuani being able to be that super tank. Phantom of Temp continuing to find the engages. The Channel Crystal Arrow finds Caitlyn again. 4-man knockout from the Alistar. Will it be enough? He is super tanky. The stun goes down. Turret onto Juggeroo. Will it be enough? The GP ultimate forcing Caitlyn to back up super far underneath her turret. And that's the Alistar already gone. I Like Pogger still alive. However, he is only going to have to wave clear here and stop the rest of the members of Shadowhunters from moving forward anymore, as they are low health, though don't want to get picked off as the members of Super Galaxy are starting to respawn. They decide to call it off, take their shutdown gold, and back away. Still only 2,000 gold down in this game.
Yeah, it's very surprising they're only down 2,000 gold. Really the difference being in the mid lane and the bot lane. Those are your two swing lanes. And Ash just picked up a substantial amount of gold. 9 kills, despite being down 150 CS. A little bit more than that now.
Love the Blade of the Ruined King as well, picking that up for the anti-tank line of that Alawi Trundle Alistar. So really recognizing what the enemy team is going for, kind of that 3-tank front line, AP-AD back line, and building specifically for that.
I really do not like that. I do not like the Blade of the Ruined King. It was good a while ago. Blade of the Ruined King is just not statted as well as it was. That's a good 4th item, but as an ADC, you want to throw your gold as hard as you can into the triple crit. Phantom of Temp not going to be doing as much damage until he gets that fine, especially on a completely crit-based champion. Ash's kit has been reworked to basically completely revolve around crits.
This is true. Trundle goes in onto Juggeroo, steals away the stats, doesn't find the slow though, instead going to be backing off as Juggeroo able to use that Q to stop Landex's engage. So the ult from Trundle is down, but it is a fairly short cooldown, so should be back up for the next engage. But the Warmogs as well as Ocean Drake on the Sejuani is going to make it very easy for her to back away and then re-engage in any fight that she loses a little bit of health. The Crystal Arrow finds the Caitlyn once again. Can Pogs go down this time? Has only died once so far. walled out from the Anivia, forced to flash. The Ashe is trying to get as much damage in the cleanse used, and by the cleanse, I mean, that is the, Quicksilver Sash, sorry, yeah, QSS, as Better Corky goes and looking to finish off Pugs, and it's going to be a nearly full team ace. Only the Alawi in the top lane and Trundle in the mid lane left alive. Reeves doing a great job of holding that Alawi from getting the turret just by clearing the waves. And the 4 versus 3, sorry, in the bottom lane comes out massively for Shadowhunters.
Yeah, and I have to give massive props to Phantom of Temp, hitting almost every single one of these arrows now. He's hit, I think, 4 arrows onto the priority target. He's nailed Caitlyn. And here's another one.
And here's another one onto the Alawi. Jinky Toes tries to get in, uses the ultimate, finishing off Phantom of Temp. Should be pretty easy work, despite the stun. Doesn't even matter. Stun from Anivia, still going to get life-stealing heal. Juggaroo very low. One more Tentacle Slam might be enough, but the CC from Lord Reeves stops that, and Juggaroo lives once again.
And he's just going to stand right there, and look at Warmogs. All of your hard work to try and kill me, all going away. Be sad.
The cannon minion slowed it for just a moment, but yeah.
No,
so,
cannon minion doesn't turn off Warmogs.
Something seemed to slow it down, but maybe I'm wrong. Maybe I'm wrong. Trundle in the top lane now, probably going to get engaged upon, probably going to get killed. The ultimate, the flash, not going to be enough to save his life, and he's going to go down. And the problem here is that Super Galaxy has spread their line so thin. They don't fight as that 5-man group damage that they could be fighting as. Instead, they continue to just split across the map. They're taking turrets, but so are the members of Shadowhunters now. Double turrets taken in the bottom lane. Turret in the mid lane has fallen as well. And so as they start to stack up these turrets, they're catching back up in gold. And we are passing the 35-minute mark, which means that gold is going to matter a little bit less as we start to get into these 6-item builds.
Yeah, and I do have to point out really quick that they have an Infernal Drake. Shadowhunters picked up an Infernal Drake early into the game, and while Lethal Tempo is not as good for laning phase, Phantom of Temp has the higher scaling rune here, and while I can't say he'll outscale the Caitlyn, he will deal sufficiently comparable damage, and since he has Runaan's Hurricane, he's on a champion that builds it very well.
Oh, this is not good.
Deal that across, and Commander C caught out and narrowed down.
Commander C is immediately executed, and Caitlyn was headed towards the bottom lane. Now, the one lucky thing for Super Galaxy is that Caitlyn didn't show, but doesn't matter. Shadowhunter's still going to dive directly onto the Baron now that one member's already gone. Man advantage, damage advantage right here, right now. Baron ticking down underneath the 4,000 health, 2,000 health, 1,000 health, smited away. Ashe takes up the last hit, and that's going to be 5 members now with the Baron buff. Shadowhunters, despite losing fairly heavily in the early game, are starting to truly stack and come back. Most especially this Anivia and Ashe have continuously done work in these team fights.
Anivia Ashe, yes. So Anivia probably going to end up with the highest damage stats in the game, but I really have to give Phantom of Temp massive props despite getting CC down and killed multiple times in lane, punished for blowing that flash early. He has managed to, what I've said about Ashe for a long time, is not someone you want to play if you want to carry in solo queue, but an excellent champion to play if you just want to kind of play a middling tier champion. She's never going to be like the top of the ADC tier list, but she's always useful. Even if you're 0-17, you always have that arrow. You always have that ability to pick off a key target, and it's on like a 60-second cooldown. And wow, that was a big crit.
So one of the things I'd like to see from Super Galaxy is a little bit better communication using the Discord chat, which anyone that's watching can scroll down and see the Discord in below that you can use to communicate with your team to actually make some better plays in Conglomeration. You saw that during the laning phase, Wincarnation and I Like Pogs played out some really good plays. In the middle of the game, they were able to also continue some really good plays together. However, a lot of these late game movements have seemed very disjointed. Members being left alone on opposite sides of the map, not working together as a team. Whereas for Shadowhunters, I don't know if they're in Discord together or not, but they seem to be just much more cohesively on the same page. They're grouping much better. They're making better overall calls. They do have Lord Reeves, which is always a strong voice on the team. But if the team isn't in Discord, they aren't able to use that. Wincarnation tries to get engaged on Lord Reeves in the mid lane. He's all by himself, burned down to half health. The ult from Ashe may be enough to take him down. Wincarnation gets tanky. He tries to survive. The shield's not enough. Lord Reeves takes him out. And now I Like Pogs flashing to safety, uses the QSS to try to heal himself to safety as well. Is it going to be enough? Looks like he will live for the moment. The Trundle gets tanky. Not enough either. Jinky Toast here. 5 members with the Baron buff. Will this be the end? As that is going to be Irelia also falling. The only 2 members are the damage dealers. No tank left for Super Galaxy. Red Team Shadowhunter smashes through the mid lane second tier turret. And with another arrow, this is the late game for Ashe. It's on such a low cooldown. Picks off of the Aurelion Soul. And with the Baron buff, 5 members strong. Super tank line still intact. This could be the end of the game. Shadowhunters finish off the middle inhibitor. I Like Pogs, 90 caliber, nets to safety underneath the turret. Tries to get a last desperate kill on Gangplank. And Better Corky says, I don't think so. Takes him out. Ashe is burning through these turrets. The end of the game, ladies and gentlemen, as Shadowhunters, despite so low early game, come back for a devastating win. 18 kills to 28. And this is why you never surrender. And this is why you never give up.
What an inspiring speech, Jake. I feel inspired to go do something reckless now.
Reckless? He's a strong ADC. Look at that Tristana hopping in. He's got the resets. He's going for the ace. Fnatic win. Ladies and gentlemen, they've taken down G2. Sorry, I was reliving EU finals from this year. Anyway. Discord never heard of it. Neither did Bot, apparently. Irelia also falling. Isn't that what I said? Did I misspeak? I'm so sorry. But, wow, what a game. About to be into the stats. But seriously, that Alistar early game made some amazing plays. And I really should go back and count how many arrows Ashe landed, because that was a significant amount. It is time, ladies and gentlemen. The craziest thing about all of this, I'm going to keep talking for half a second, is to say that Phantom of Tim has played Ashe a lot on the stream, and normally doesn't play Ashe to like an incredible level. Does okay, but never plays it to an incredible level. This game was an incredible level. The practice has paid off. It is now worthy of a ban to ban Ashe against Phantom of Temp, and that's saying something.
All right, so MVPs, honorable mentions, and shout-outs real quick. So for the losing team, Super Galaxy, MVP and honorable mention both go over to I Like Pogs and Wincarnation respectively. That bottom lane duo was just super potent in the early to mid game. I Like Pogs really executing his Caitlyn mechanics very well. Hitting the 90 caliber net hilt over Peacemaker combo on multiple occasions, and then posturing forward for the kill, ending up getting himself ahead 8-0 at one point, and then Wincarnation setting him up for most of those early kills with the Alistar playing forward, especially using the flash play in the bottom lane to secure a kill onto the Ashe that one time. Definitely is a standout moment in my mind. Also, need to point out that while the scoreline's good, 418 CS, beating the Anivia, who has an ultimate that basically auto wave clears. 418 CS. I haven't seen a number like this in one of our games in a very long time, and this one wasn't even that long. Over 10 CS a minute. Well done. I Like Pogs. Yeah, MVPs, honorable mentions, and shout-outs. Also, shout-out to Jinky Toast in the top lane, doing a very good job on that allowing. Anyway, so I want to give the honorable mention to Lord Reeves, and yet, hold on, I hear it already in the chat. I did the most damage, and I did the shot call. Yes, I know, but I'm giving the MVP over to Phantom of Tempt because, holy crap, arrows!
Holy crap,
On
arrows!
Critical targets on almost every fight. It was on a 40-second CD, and he probably missed like 4 arrows in the game and shot a lot of them. Yeah, so definitely deserving of the MVP this game. It was pretty good to see. Also, shout out to Enzalor for really dope supporting. Really liked seeing him trying to keep the enemy ADC off of his ADC during those early game fights, as well as a couple of critical disengagement ultimates. Anyway, so that's your MVPs, honorable mentions, and shoutouts.
No shout out for Better Corky. 9, 4, and 13.
Also most damage in the game, yeah.
The Irelia massively. You gave Lord Reeves honorable mention, right?
There's no Irelia in
Sorry, Irelia. Well, better nerf Irelia. Better nerf Irelia. No, honorable mention to Lord Reeves or Better Corky?
Lord Reeves, because he's the reason they made it to that point in the game. He basically sat there and stalled out the game to the point where they had an opportunity to both make the picks that got them back in the game, and they didn't just get snowballed on. So he was in the right lanes at the right time to keep their Nexus towers, or not Nexus towers, inhibitor towers alive. If that doesn't happen, they lose the game in about like 25 minutes.